Speaking of records, I'm going to try to set a record here for a short presentation. So, problem statement. We've all seen this problem statement before. The board has suspended 418 waiting list. Minimum hold time before you can transfer address space onward is a year right now. The author says that they believe that a longer hold time of 24 months is reasonable. Policy statement to do same and put 24 months in the NRPM where there is currently 12. And there has been no discussion on PPML, even though it has been sent to PPML as a draft. Oh, there's one? None. Sent to PPML as a draft, and the fact that the AC took it on to their docket was posted to PPML. So, questions, discussion?
Barely sat down.
I am pleased.
Thank you. The microphones are open once again, and it looks like you'll get a little, okay, well, he's just running away from me. Okay, well, thank him for his very quick presentation, yeah. And we'll open the microphones on the middle again.
Okay, so Chris Tassett again. This is another one of the factors that I think ought to be considered, duration, but I seriously doubt that 2 years is going to be sufficient given the extended time during which IPv4 address space is likely to be valuable. I think that you're going to need to see a much longer period for people to start thinking twice about not sitting on these things, or leasing them in the meantime and then doing the transfer at the end of whatever that period is.
Thank you. So you are in support of this. If I understood you correctly, you're in support of this initiative, but maybe
as one potential piece, but
okay.
I don't think it does it all.
Thanks.
And the duration not quite long.
So over to the far.
Kevin Bloomberg, The Wire. I would support the Advisory Council merging this policy with the policy before it, taking this one salient point from this problem statement, which is to increase the time, and making that a factor of the first proposal, which is more important. This is a secondary control, not a primary control. And I agree with the previous speaker, 24 months is not enough. I believe that we need to look at the other regions and all of the issues that they've had over the past 3 years, because they've had significantly more issues than us based on their pools, and look at 3 or 5 year things based on feedback on the types of abuse that they saw in those regions.
So you're in support of the problem statement, effectively.
I'm in support of the problem statement.
Okay, thank you for that. Back to the middle.
David Farmer, University of Minnesota, ARIN-AC. I like the idea of merging this with the other proposal. I would be concerned with approving any of them on their own. I think we need to have a consolidated solution. I support the problem statement. It needs to be longer. I agree that 24 is probably not long enough. Maybe start with 36. Anything 36 to 60 months seems reasonable. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Oh, I do support the, I said that already.
You support the problem statement? Oh, no, we go back and forth. It's a trick. So if you want to get in, look for the shorter line.
Exactly. I guess Barry Sherwood, Great Basin Internet Services. I do support the proposal as written, although combining it would also be good. 24-month minimum. I said 24 months earlier, 24-month minimum.
Okay. Thank you. Support of the problem statement. Back to the middle.
Owen DeLong, ARIN-AC. I do support the extension of the waiting period as mentioned earlier. I'm perfectly fine with David's suggestion of 36 to 60 month as valid targets. I am not sure that when combined with the smaller prefix size, this wouldn't do it. People keep talking about comparing to the experiences in other regions. I would like to point out that no other region has experience with a waiting list. The other region's experiences are with issuance from their final /8s primarily, not with a waiting list.
Well, that's a good distinction. Thank you. Back over to this side.
Kevin Bloomberg, The Wire, just one additional comment. Our routing policy says that ARIN does not guarantee that the route that you get is globally routable.
Correct?
One other suggestion is to basically put into this, or whichever policy it is, that space issued under the waiting list is not guaranteed to be transferable, and basically allow the community to revoke at any time transfers if they feel that abuse is there, but to actually spell it out that you can get space here, but don't expect that at some point that might change.
Sorry,
Let people know in advance. Yeah.
Maybe I misunderstood. When you say the community may deny a transfer, you mean may change the policy on you on
Yes,
transfers?
that things may change in the future.
Not that the community would suddenly approve every transfer, just
No.
checking.
It's, the board suspended this policy for a
Right.
very good reason. And I think that somebody coming to the waiting list a year from now is not necessarily going to know the history that we all know. And putting in there that at some point, the waiting list, that, not, again, M&As I'm going to separate out of here because M&As are very different, but just, this is not potentially going to be a windfall. You may not be able to transfer the space at a later date.
John, would you like to speak? I saw your back kind of go.
Why would you not say, space issued via this policy is not transferable, period?
I would be happy with that.
You just said might not be at a later date. And the real challenge we have is that it's pretty easy to tell someone, we're issuing you space, it's not transferable. It's a lot more challenging to issue them space, and then you guys do something in the future, and then we have to go back to people who have space and say, they made your space issued not transferable. That opens up a discussion about changing the rules out from under them.
And that's why I was saying to document the fact that the space may or may not be transferable.
Why maybe? Why even have that? Why not just say it's not?
Okay.
That's my question.
Yeah.
You keep saying may be transferable.
The only reason is metrics on abuse. And if those metrics are not met, then transfers are fine.
It's far better just to prevent transfers.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Please approach a microphone. If you'd like to comment, we're running out of speakers. Sir, you look very much like the person that was standing here a second ago.
I was. But down here, I'm not speaking on behalf of my employer because I don't have one this week. And I'm not speaking as the shepherd for this. I'm speaking only on my own behalf. And there are 2 points that I'd like to raise.
Okay.
One is, I think we should pass 2 proposals that do 2 different things. And I think we should merge these proposals are at odds with each other. And many years ago, we had someone who was in the community who was fond of omnibus proposals that had a lot of stuff in them. And merging the proposals, unless there's a good problem that is being addressed by that, makes something that's actually harder to get consensus on.
Yeah, well, that is true.
And I believe that either making it a longer prefix or increasing the hold time is by itself an incomplete solution, but that does not mean that I believe that we should throw together what we believe is a complete solution and give it to the community to, yeah, take it or leave it. So I am opposed to merging this proposal with any other proposals or any of the other proposals that are currently in with any others. So that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, when we talk about making it 3 years, 5 years, 10 years minimum hold time, what we have essentially done is made it you can never transfer it, because 5 years in internet time is an awfully long time. And we've done a lot of work to make WHOIS more accurate. And one of the things that we did that got a huge amount of community support was to eliminate the audit with 8.2, so that M&A could update and not have companies that you hadn't heard of since the .com era in WHOIS. So I want people to think about the externalities and the unintended consequences of advocating for a longer hold time. I would love to make the hold time be essentially forever. But I temper that with the fact that I value WHOIS accuracy very, very highly. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. The microphones are going to close after this comment, so please approach a microphone if you'd like to comment or start typing. Go ahead, please, remote.
Okay, speaking for Jason Schiller, Google ASO AC, I support a longer time, including 24 months, 36 months, 60 months, or maybe even 120 months.
Okay. Thank you. So that closes the microphone. I would thank the AC presenter, but he already disappeared on me, but we'll thank him regardless. And I'm just leaving this here in case the next presentation is 3 seconds. So.